Good afternoon, welcome to VANIK-IAS. We'll discuss current affairs of 27th September. First question. Consider the following statements regarding repurchase of buyback. Just a second. Okay. Consider the following statements regarding repurchase of buyback. It reduces number of outstanding shares of the company. Yes, it reduces numbers of outstanding shares of the company. It is often undertaken when a company's shares are undervalued. Right. It is a key way to transfer surplus earning to the shareholders. It's a key way to to transfer surplus earning to the shareholders. That is 1, 2, 3. All the statements are right. So shareholders when they purchase the shares, that is called the employees when the transfer surplus earning to the shareholders, that is right, buyback. Repurchase buyback is a decision by a company to purchase its own stock from the market. When a particular company buys its own stock from the market, that is called as buyback. Right. So number of shares that reduced and often undertaken by the company are undervalued. When company shares are undervalued, obviously company will do it. So this is a key way to transfer the earnings to the shareholders, so they will get some benefit. So 1, 2, 3, all the options are right regarding buyback. Consider the following statements regarding carbon neutrality. Carbon neutrality refers to achieving net zero carbon dioxide emission. Renewable energy always produce zero carbon emission. See, it's not always produce zero carbon emission. Right? Zero. It's not always zero. Sometimes or some renewable energy production there is little carbon emissions as well. Right? For example, gray hydrogen. Right? It is better. For example, our biofuels. So they produce little emissions, and some for example, in case of solar panel also, creating solar panel you have to extract the rare earth materials, and while extracting rare earth materials there is carbon emission. So it is not always zero carbon emission. So this is for second statement is wrong. So carbon neutrality refers to achieving net zero carbon dioxide emission. So one only is the right answer. Okay. We have promised net zero carbon emission by 2070 in the Glasgow summit. Glasgow summit that happened in Scotland. Right. Next. Consider the following statements regarding national emission on edible oils. National Mission on Edible Oils, Oil Palm. It's NMEOP. What is the statements? NMEOP aims to promote palm cultivation and reduce countries' dependency on edible oil imports. Yes, we are highly dependent. 70% of our edible oils, 70% of our dependency lies with the foreign countries. So anytime any problem happens, we suffer. Right. So that's why we are starting national mission on edible oils to develop our self-sufficiency so that if any scarcity occurs, people of India will not suffer or there will be high inflation in the edible oils. Under the missions, there will be a special focus on developing oil palm plantations in Gujarat and Rajasthan. This is wrong. It is in northeastern areas and in Andaman. Government is trying to make investment in northeastern areas and in Andaman areas. Andaman Nicobar, especially in the Andaman Nicobar Island. Andaman and Nicobar Islands in northeastern area, government is planning to launch the mission, that is national mission on edible oils. So second statement is wrong. If second is wrong, this all are wrong. Only 1 and 3 are answer. It provides viability gap funding and planting material assistance to oil palm farmers to boost domestic production. So 1 and 3 options are right. Okay. In planting material assistance to boost to boost the domestic production of oil, edible oils, right? So 1 and 3 are right. Consider the following statements regarding United Nations peacekeeping. United Nations peacekeeping. The financial resources of United Nations peacekeeping operations are collective responsibility of UN member states. Yes, the financial resources of UN peacekeeping, it is the collective efforts of United Nations peacekeepers, right? The international member states. Collective security means obviously that will be that to ensure collective security, right? Collective security means everybody will come together regarding security and everybody will invest jointly. That is collective security, ensure security. Okay. According to the UN Charter, every member state is legally obligated to pay their respective share of peacekeeping. United Nations is guided by the principle of complete non-use of force. See, whenever such type of sentence, polarized statements, complete non-use of force, these statements are wrong. And according to UN Charter, every member is legally. So 3 is wrong. If 3 is wrong, then these 2 are wrong. One only or 1 and 2. The answer is 1 and 2. Right? It is legally binding, obligated to pay their respective shares of peacekeeping. So 1 and 2 options are right regarding UN Charter of Peacekeeping. Consider the following statements regarding Asian Development Bank, ADB. It is modeled closely on the World Bank and has a similar weighted voting system where votes are distributed in proportion with the members' capital subscriptions. Asian Development Bank. It is modeled closely on the World Bank. Second statement: the bank admits the members. The bank admits the yes, it is a model closely on the World Bank. It is modeled closely on the World Bank. Yes, it has similar weighted voting system where votes are distributed in proportion of the members' capital subscriptions. Which of the following statements are correct? Okay. Second is the bank admits that the members of only the United Nations Economic and Social for Asia and Pacific. This is wrong. Wherever see only, these members are not only from Asia and Pacific. It aims to reduce poverty in Asia and Pacific through inclusive economic growth, environmental and social growth, regional integration. This is right. So it has a similar weighted voting system. Similar weighted voting system in ADB, like the World Bank. So 1 and 3 options are right. C is the answer. Like in World Bank, according to your capital subscriptions, you will get the vote. So 1 and 3 options are right. What is the following statements regarding United Nations peacekeeping? Every peacekeeping mission is authorized by United Nations Security Council. Next, every UN member state is must mandatorily contribute towards peacekeeping. Mandatorily contribute towards peacekeeping forces. India is the largest troop contributing the nation in peacekeeping process. See, first statement is right. Every peacekeeping mission is authorized by United Nations Security Council, and because that is the affects decision body of United Nations. Every UN member state must mandatorily contribute towards peacekeeping. No, this is wrong. They will not. Suppose Japan, any country may not be. They mandatorily contribute to peacekeeping forces. It's not mandatory. Wrong. India is largest contributing nation to the peacekeeping forces. This is also wrong. India is it is not largest. It is the fifth largest. It is the fifth largest contributor to the United Nations peacekeeping forces. So second, third statement is wrong. First only one only is the right answer. No. What are the following statements regarding International Monetary and Finance Committee? International Monetary and Finance Committee. The International Monetary and Finance Committee is a body under the World Bank. The committee discusses matters common concern affecting the global economy. Which of the following statements are correct? International Monetary and Finance Committee, this is not under World Bank. It is under IMF. International Monetary and Finance Committee, it is under IMF. It does common concern affecting the global economy. So only two only correct. Two only is the answer. Two only is the answer. Consider the following statements regarding Food and Agriculture Organization. FAO. It is a specialized agency of United Nations. Yes, it is a specialized agency of United Nations. Its international efforts to defeat hunger. Yes. Specialized agency like ILO, like UNHSC, they are specialized agencies. Its goal is to make sure that people have regular access to enough high quality food to lead active and healthy lives. That is the goal, is to active and healthy lives. The State of World Forest Report is published by FAO. The State of World Forest Report is published by Food and Agriculture Organization. So D is the answer. Okay. With the following statements are correct. Three answer is correct. In India, the constitution gives government the right to levy taxes. Right to levy taxes on individual organization. Yes, right to tax. Government has the right to tax. In India, any tax is being charged has to be backed by a law passed by the state legislation of the parliament. Yes. What is the charge expenditure? Right. What do you mean by charge expenditure? First statement is right. Government has the right to levy taxes. The obligations on individuals and organizations. Yes. Any taxes charged have to be backed by law by the state legislation of the parliament. Yes, this is also right. As per 7th schedule of the constitution, union and states have the concurrent powers of taxation. Unions see so for taxation there is no concurrent power. Concurrent power of taxation. This is wrong. Okay. They have separate type of taxation. On what matter who can tax. So that is clearly mentioned in the union government and union list and state list. There is no concurrent power on taxation. So this statement is wrong. Now what is charge expenditure? We have Consolidated Fund of India Article 226. Consolidated Fund of India. Contingency Fund of India Article 267. On Article 266 Consolidated Fund of India, that means every expenditure of the government will be derived from the Consolidated Fund of India. All the taxes they also get deposited in the Consolidated Fund of India. In case of contingency, that is for emergency purpose. So some expenditure by the government are charge expenditures. Charge means, for example, High Court salary of Comptroller and Auditor General of India. They are charge expenditures. Salary of High Court judges. They are charge expenditures. They will not be subject to Parliament voting. See, every money. If a single money is there, they have we have if you have to bring a single money out of the consolidated fund of India, you need voting in the Parliament. Where some are called as charge expenditures, right? Some are called as charge expenditures. Charge means that do not subject to voting, but initially it needed law to be passed by the Parliament or the state legislature that this is the fixed expenditure that will be taken out of the consolidated fund of India, right? So you need a law. The law must be passed. So one and two options are right. According to Constitution of India, governors are from time to time summon the house or each house of the legislature of the state to meet at a such time and the place he thinks fit. The governor always the governor always has to act on the aid and advice of the cabinet and cannot decide his own on summoning her own on summoning the house. Now this statement is wrong. Governor which of the following statements are incorrect? Question is which of the following statements are incorrect? So this is incorrect. Government has wide discretionary power under Article 163. Under Article 163, governor is not bound by the aid and advice of the council of minister. It has wide discretion. He can declare anything as a discretionary power. So this step, which is incorrect, this is incorrect, right? First statement is correct. Governor shall from time to time summon the house, legislature of the state or meet at such time and place he thinks of. So whenever he thinks he can summon the house, he is not bound by the aid and advice of the council of minister. But in case of president is bound by aid and advice of council of minister. Because governor works during the pleasure of the president. But president, anytime central government wishes, they can remove the governor. But state government cannot remove a governor. There is no procedure of impeachment for the governor by the state. Right? So governor is the link between center and states. It is designed as the agent of the center and in the state. So governor is not bound by the aid and advice of the council of ministers of the state. The 86th Amendment, the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act inserted Article 21A in the Constitution of India to provide free and compulsory education of all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. The Constitution of India provides reservation for advancement of backward classes of citizens in all educational institutions. See, which of the following statements is correct? It cannot provide reservation and advancement of backward classes in all educational institutions, especially in case of private institution. It cannot enforce in all educational institutions. Okay, it is only for the aided educational institutions, but not minority institutions also. In case of minority institutions, government cannot enforce reservation for backward classes, right? But in case of other governmental institutions like at initial level, at primary level, government can enforce this right to education. So one only option is the right answer. Free and compulsory education for all. One only is the answer. The right to strike is a fundamental right in India. International covenant right to strike. You have the right to protest, not the right to strike. Strike means completely burn. Protest means you are just showing that you are dissatisfied with the government. So first statement is wrong. You don't have any right to strike. You have the right to protest under Article 19. International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights 1966 also provide recognition of the right to strike. The condition that it is conformity with the law of the member states. Yes, it is a conformity with the law of the member states. It is you can strike, right? You should not violate any law with respect to the particular country. Consider the following statements regarding sessions parliament in India. India does not have a fixed parliamentary calendar and meets 3 sessions in a year. The summoning of parliament is based on the provisions of the Government of India 1935. India doesn't have a fixed parliamentary calendar that meets 3 sessions a year. Yes, India meets 3 sessions a year. Doesn't have a fixed parliamentary calendar. The summoning of parliament is based on the provisions of Government of India 1935. Summoning of parliament is specified in the Article 85 in the Constitution. Right. So, and that is earlier that was in government in 1935, but we cannot say that now government in 1935 is the basis of our working. It is Article 65 of the Constitution, whereas 85 is brought from government in 1935. So one only is the answer, right? It is based on provisions of the constitutions, where the provision is brought from the government of India 1935. Okay. Consider the following statements. The Constitution amendment bill cannot be introduced by private members. The Constitution amendment bill cannot be introduced by private member. Political parties, no, it can be introduced by a private. Constitution amendment bill can be introduced by a private member, but money bill cannot be introduced by a private member. Right? Money bill cannot be introduced by a private member, but Constitution amendment bill can be initiated in either house of the parliament and but not in the state legislature, and also that can be introduced by a minister or any other member. So first statement is wrong. Political parties cannot issue whips to MLAs in Rajya Sabha polls. No, they can issue whips. They can issue whips. Right? None of the above, nota. Is applicable only for general elections held on the basis of universal adult suffrage. Yes, applicable. It is applicable for general elections held on the basis of universal adult suffrage. So two and three options are right regarding uh, regarding the above statements. So political parties uh, cannot issue whips to MLAs in Rajya Sabha polls, and on the basis of ballot applicable for general elections in universal adult suffrage. So two and three options are right. Which the following are the metropolis of Indus Valley civilization? Gauriwala, Rakhigari, Dhoavira and Harappa. 2, 3, 4 are very famous. Right. 2, 3, 4 are very famous. But whether Gauriwala is an option or not. Gauriwala is a metropolis of Indus Valley civilization. So 1, 2, 3, 4 All the options are right. All are India. Dholavira, Rakhigari in Haryana, Gauriwala, Harappa, there. Harappa is in Pakistan, Gauriwala is in Pakistan, Rakhigari in Haryana, Dholavira is in Haryana. So D is all the answers. They all belongs to Indus Valley civilization. Rakhigari, Haryana. Dholavira, Gujarat. That is also in India. And Gauriwala and Harappa, they belongs to Pakistan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the answers they belongs to Indus Valley civilization. On the following statements regarding Dholavira. Here the walls are made up of sandstone, limestone instead of mud bricks. And mud bricks are in the many other Harappan sites. In case of Dholavira, yes, it is the which is made up of. Dholavira is made up of sandstone and limestone instead of mud bricks in many Harappan sites. Extensive mortal remains of humans have been discovered in the Dholavira. It was also a hub of manufacturing jewelry of shells and semi-precious stones. Right. This is right. It is a hub of many precious stones. Mortal remains, no mortal remains. No mortal remains are discovered from Dholavira. So second statement is wrong. 1 and 3 options are right regarding Dholavira. Sandstone, limestone instead of mud bricks, and there is huge amount of manufacturing jewelry made of shells and semi-precious stones. There was no mortal remains is discovered from Dholavira, so 1 and 3 options are right. Amgad Fort is recently seen in the news. Amgad Fort, it is in Rajasthan. Rajasthan Jaipur, there is Amgad Fort. Right? It is a center of conflict between the tribal Mina and now there is conflict between tribal Mina and Hindus. Hindus conflict. So is the answer. Consider the following statements regarding Kesaria Buddha Stupa. Kesaria Buddha Stupa. Kesaria Buddha Stupa. It is a stupa located in Champaran district of Bihar. Yes, this is right. In Champaran district of Bihar, Kesaria Buddha Stupa is there. It is waterlogged by the floods. That's why it was in news. It is regarded as one of the smallest Buddha stupas in the world. Not smallest. It is the biggest. It is one of the biggest Buddha stupas in the world. If it is smallest, this would not be famous. Archaeological Survey of India has declared it is a protected monument of national importance. So 1 and 3 options are right. It is a protected monument of national importance. Kesaria Buddha Stupa. 1 and 3 options are right. Recently, the largest religious monument of world is going to be established in West Bengal. That is in Mayapur. In Mayapur, West Bengal, largest religious monument by the ISKCON is going to be established. Yes, next question. Kijadi Korkai Sivagalai. These sites seen in news are located in which place? These are Tamil Nadu. Archaeological sites in Tamil Nadu, Kejadi, Kokai, and Sinogai. C is the answer. It consists of following statements. Undergoing several changes, tricolor flag was adopted as a national flag in Congress Committee during Constitution 1931. Yes, 1931 we have adopted the Constitution. So past statement is right. We have adopted tricolor in the Constitution 1931. Indian flag was adopted at its present form during India's independence, August 15. No, this is not adopted in August 15. Indian flag was adopted in July 22. In July 22, India's flag was adopted by the Constituent Assembly. So, second statement is wrong. One only is the answer. Okay, just a second. Okay, next question we'll see. Limbu or Limbu tribe. Which of the following statements are correctly matched? Limbu tribes, that belongs to Sikkim. It is right. Karbi, it is not Himachal Pradesh, it is Assam. Karbi Anglong Plateau we have also there. It is Assam. Dongriya Kant, Odisha. Bonda, it is UP. UP Bihar, Bonda. In Odisha there is also Bonda. So UP is when this for 1 and 3 options are right. That is Sikkim and 3 that is Dongriya Kant, Odisha. Karbi, it is in Assam. Consider the following statements on what are the other tribes that are in news. For example, there was Aptani tribe. Aptani tribe. Who was Aptani tribe? It is from Arunachal Pradesh. Aptani tribe, Arunachal Pradesh. Uttarakhand is state not only having another is there is Bhil tribe. Aptani tribe they are demanding their Aptani text tribe to be declared as a to get geographical indication. Bhil tribe they belongs to Rajasthan. They belongs to Rajasthan. They are demand yes they are Bhil tribe. No, sorry, Bhil tribe they belongs to yes Bhil tribe they belongs to Rajasthan, and government has declared the tribal Jallianwala Bagh, that is the killing of 1500 Bhil tribes by the British, as monuments of national importance. That is what we call as the monuments of that is monument of national importance by government of India, because they have Britishers have killed 1500 Bhil tribes. Right, that is in Mangod Hillock. Mangod Hillock. Next question. Consider the following statements with respect to Tribal Advisory Council. Tribal Advisory Council, each state having scheduled areas have to establish Tribal Advisory Council. Uttarakhand is the only state not having any tribal scheduled area. Also, have tribes advisory do not have notified any. Do not have not it's the only state not having any notified scheduled area. Also, tribal advisory council is constituted in the Uttarakhand. This is the only state. Wherever C is only, their statements are generally wrong. So one only is the right. Consider the following statements with respect to sounding rockets. With respect to sounding rockets, they are used for atmospheric satellites, used for upper atmospheric research satellites. Upper atmospheric research satellites. Generally consist of 2 and 3 stages of propulsion. This is down. This is 1 or 2. 1 or 2 stage of propulsion, sounding rockets. Costlier than other launchers? They are not costlier. So 1 only is the answer. So it is upper atmosphere research satellites. It is used, that is sounding rockets. 1 and 2 stage solid propellant. 1 and 2 stage solid propellant. Consider the following statements. The duration of monsoon decreases from southern India to northern India. The amount of rainfall in the northern plains of India decreases from east to west. Which of the following statements are correct? Both are correct. Obviously, duration of monsoon decreases from southern India to northern India because monsoon have less moisture in northern India, so obviously duration decreases. The amount of rainfall in Kerala is much more as compared to Delhi. The amount of rainfall in the northern plains of India decreases from east to west. From east to west, it decreases. Yes, because in northeast area we have largest amount of rainfall and huge biodiversity, so as well that decreases from right to left. Regarding Indus Valley civilization, consider the following statements. It was a predominantly secular civilization and religious element. Those though present do not dominate the scene. That means religion do not dominate the scene in case of Indus Valley civilization. Okay. Yes, religious are not dominant in the scene. During this period, cotton was used and manufactured in textiles in India. So both the statements are used. During this period, cotton was used for manufacturing textiles. So both the statements are right regarding Indus Valley civilization. It was a secular civilization. It is respecting each idols. So both the statements are right here. Right. Next question. Consider the following statements with reference to United Nations Security Council. United Nations Security Council. Consider the following statement. UNSC. The Council's presidency is a capacity that rotates every year among its 15 members. Yes. Presidency is a capacity. Council's presidency is a capacity that no, this presidency is do not among 15 years. It is among the 5 members of permanent members. Any member of the United Nations which is not a member of the Security Council can participate. Any member of the United Nations, a not member of Security Council can participate. Yes, B is answer. Can participate in any United States Security Council, but they cannot decide. Devar Commission also mentioned in news. Devar Commission. This is related to particularly vulnerable tribal groups, EVTs. They are most vulnerable tribal groups. Odisha has maximum number of particularly vulnerable tribal groups, that is EVTs. Right? They are the most marginalized communities within the tribals. Right? So D is the answer. Consider the following statements. National Action Plan for Toys, NAPT, was introduced to promote the Indian toy industry, including traditional handicrafts and handmade toys. Recently, Ministry of Environment launched Swachh Toykathon, unique competition to make toys made from waste. Which of the following statements is correct? First statement is correct, introduced. This will not be done by the Ministry of Environment. Ministry of Environment will not work for toys. So only one only is the answer. National Action Plan was introduced to promote the toy industry. Recently, the fast avalanche monitoring radar was a series of short microwave pulses that can detect avalanches within 3 seconds of its trigger was set up. In this context, which of the following statements are not correct? The actual question is which of the following statements are not correct? It has been set up in Arunachal Pradesh. It has been developed by the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. No, why tropical meteorology will do it? Tropic region. So obviously this is wrong. Okay. Sorry. Which of the following statements are not correct? Yes, both are. Which of the following statements are not correct? Here, both the statements are not correct. Both 1 and 2 are not correct. Next question. India is a member of which of the following organizations? India is not a member of which of the following organizations? It is Association of Southeast Asian Nations, Commonwealth Mission, SARC. India is a member of SARC. India is a member of Commonwealth. It is a member of G20. So this Indian member is not a member of ASEAN. Association of Southeast Asian nations. That is the Colombia, this Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam. They are the Asian countries, right? So A is the answer. Asian Southeast nation. A is the answer. India is not a member of Asian countries. So the objective discussion, question discussion is finished. Just a second. Okay. Now we'll discuss a mains question. The answer writing. Ancient history gives us a valuable account of old Indian society. In this context, discuss the sources of ancient Indian history. What are the sources of ancient Indian history? History is the study of past events. It helps to understand those processes enabled early humans to successfully conquer the environment and develop the present day civilization. So first you write the relevance of history. It is just the study of battles of the kings, but normally understood by some. The analysis of society, economic, cultural trends, long period are repeated to available sources. There are different sources to literary sources. So history has different literary sources. History is not just some wars or some kings. Especially what situation led to what situation led to what development will it understand only from history. For example, we have done certain mistakes in our policy that led develop the communalism. For example, giving them special rights, establishment of Muslim League. These are done in the history. But after 30 and 40 years, what happened? Ultimately, the country has divided. So we have to learn from history that what step led to communalism. If we develop communalism by various steps, ultimately this will happen. So a person will learn from history. We learn from history. It is not remembering the dates. Whatever history gets repeats itself all the time. For example, earlier, okay. For example, we will also learn from history because by our in our history there is Arthashastra Chanakya. There is Chanakya Arthashastra. Chanakya statecraft. It is relevant at present time. At present time, we are also using the same thing, that is Chanakya has been utilized. So that is ancient history. So that has the relevance of history. Then what are the religious literature? Most ancient Indian texts contain religious themes. They are known as Vedas. They are assigned to 1500 to 500 BC. The Vedas are four in number. Rig Veda mainly consists of prayers. Other Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda, prayers, rituals, magic, and mythological stories. What are the Upanishads? What are the sources? They have asked the sources. One is religious literature. Religious literature, that is one type of source. Upanishads contain philosophical discussion of the on Atma and Paramatma. They are referred to as Vedanta. These Upanishads. They make the Vedas simplified, right? So that religious literature is one of the source of ancient history, which gives us idea regarding the ancient people, their culture, especially from the Vedas. Okay. And secular literature. The category of literature doesn't have religion. Doesn't have religion under its theme. Right? When religion is not the thing. One from religious books, second is secular literature. In this case, belongs to Dharma Shastras, where law books which prescribe duties for different social groups. Dharma Shastras. So these are the duties, social laws. Dharma Shastras are social laws. How you behave in a society. What should be your the day planning. How you should eat, when you should bath, when you should do what particular thing. All these things are mentioned in Dharma Shastras. They set out punishments for the persons guilty of theft, murder and adultery and sex, adultery and etc. So earlier law books of Manusmriti, it was one of the Manusmriti Dharma Shastra. In Manusmriti, all these things are mentioned. What you should do and what you should not do. In most of the Manusmriti are relevant, some are irrelevant, right? And that is the book first was transferred to British on the basis of Hindu code law. Hindu code law is based on the book by Manusmriti. Arthashastra of Kautilya provides a rich material for the study of Indian economy and polity in the Mauryan period. Works on the grammar are sometimes useful for the historical instructions. Works on grammar also, but Panini has written grammar. Panini has written grammar. So sometimes useful for historical reconstructions. Okay. So Arthashastra, Kautilya, the secular literature like Manusmriti and Arthashastra, they are very relevant for our culture and our to studying the history. They are sources of history. Right. Third is non-literary sources. What are the non-literary sources of history? For example, inscriptions. Various inscriptions, right? For example, Junagadh inscriptions, there are Rudraraman inscription by Rudraraman that gives a lot of idea. Inscriptions on permanent writings engraved in hard surface are stone, metals, and terracotta. That means over the time it will not be abolished, right? It will. So the study of inscriptions are called as epigraphy. Early inscriptions written on stone, they usually record the advice, achievements, activities, and ideas of those who got inscribed. So we get inscriptions which glorify the exploits, the kings, or mention donations made by the men and women for religious purposes. Coins. The study of coins is known as numismatics. Study of coin is known as numismatics. Ancient coins are mostly printed on metal in copper, silver, lead. Earliest coins in India established by certain symbols. They are called Panchmat coins, right, by the Kusanas, by the Indus Valley civilizations also, by the Sakas, and they all have issued coins. The Gupta rulers have issued gold coins, providing useful information regarding economic history. They use a medium of exchange. Some coins are used by guilds or associations. So these are not literally sources. Merchants, craftsmen, permission of the rulers. This shows the influence of craft and commerce. Coins are portray kings of gods, certain religious symbols which are so right under art and religion of the time. Suppose a particular king has made a king of Buddha, coin in Buddha. That means he was respecting Buddha. So you can get the idea from coins as well. Archaeology excavated sites like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa. They show the elements from history. How people are lived. It is shown that they have a proper structure of the city. There is well drainage systems. All these things were there. The type of pottery tools, implements they use, and kinds of cereals they consume. Some people who buried along with their weapons, pottery, and other belongings, heavy stones. By digging them, lot about the life people lived in the Deccan and South India before the 3rd century. So by archaeology, by non-religious literature, by religious literature, by terracotta, by arms they used, all these things, and uh, by coins also we can know that they are the lifestyles of the early people. Foreign travelers also account of foreign travelers who are written what will sun, icing, right, fire, all they have written. Greek, Roman, and Chinese visitors, ambassadors or travelers who seek their religious knowledge from time to time. They have written various books. From those books also, we will get knowledge about our history. Right, what is the conclusion? Thus, all the above mentioned sources have helped constructing history period, which helps us to know social, political, economic conditions of that period. We get the idea about social conditions and economic conditions of that period. So, the lectures end here. And like this video, share and subscribe to VANIK-IAS. Thank you.